Welcome to my monthly The Expat Career and Lifestyle podcast. I'm Dominika and I am the founder of dmcoaching.eu, the place to be when you want to create a career you love and live the global lifestyle. Hello everyone and welcome to our The Expat Career and Lifestyle podcast. Today I have a very special guest with me, Florence Wright from Nottingham, UK. She's currently living in Rome. Kate is business English coach for Very Sure, the biggest alarm company in Europe. She has also worked with clients like Enel, Mercedes-Benz, Banca Intesa San Paolo, Comune di Roma, Governo Italiano, British Council, and University of Rome La Sapienza on Masters in Marketing. And today with Kate, we are going to speak about her life in Rome and how to improve your public speaking skills. Hello, Kate. Welcome to our podcast. Thank you for being here today with us. And please tell us.
You're very welcome. Good evening.
Welcome. And please tell us more about yourself and what prompted you to move to Rome.
Okay, what brought me to Rome is a bit of a complicated story, but in the beginning I wanted to work in marketing as a marketing manager for language schools, and I'd worked for 1 year in administration inside a language school in the UK, and I'd also studied a marketing qualification at night school. And I spoke to some other marketing managers who were already in the position and said to them, what do I need to do? What do you advise me to get into your position? And they said, well, really, you should go and work as a language trainer and also work as an agent. So leave the UK, live abroad, start becoming a teacher, start learning how to train, and also work as an agent, so send students from outside of the UK back to a language school. And when you've got a couple of years of experience, you can then go back to a language school and say, okay, I've done administration, I've worked as an agent, I know what it means to teach English, I've done 360 degrees of the profession, now please give me a job. Which is what eventually happened, but that was why I came the first time.
Mm-hmm. So how did you develop your career here in Rome, and what was your biggest challenge?
In terms of developing the career, I would say one of the most important things was going from one job to another. To not necessarily accepting the pay rates that were being offered at that time, which were incredibly low. So I would say to develop yourself, one of the things I learned was you have to continuously ask for more or present yourself to different places, find out in the market what different companies are paying, what different rates, and not be scared to ask for a pay rise or move in order to put yourself in a better position. I'd say in terms of the challenges, one of the complex parts in the beginning was learning the language, living with Italians where we had no common language, which ended up being a massive positive because it meant I was able to learn Italian. And also the public transport system, which is not Rome's strongest point, was definitely challenging for the first 2 years. But then you adapt to the city and you get over the challenges or you start driving, and so therefore you no longer have to use public transport.
Mm-hmm. So now you are driving like a Roman lady.
Exactly, absolutely. Yeah.
Yes, this is very important point that you said before about asking questions and also asking for more when it comes to income. I think to getting a higher payroll or a higher
Yes.
income. Yeah, I think especially for women, because we are afraid. I think, I don't know. We're afraid to ask for more, to value ourselves more. So yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, that's very important point, and thank you for saying that. So asking questions and do not be afraid for asking for more.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So, what can you advise to someone who is thinking about moving to Rome now?
Okay. Yeah. I would say for me, I'll repeat the same advice that I was given by a trainer when I first moved here. And that was, if you want to learn the language, you have to live with Italians. I know a lot of people who work in the UN or work in English-speaking officers where they perhaps live with their partner who also speaks the same language, and they've been a long time in the country, and therefore they don't have the opportunity to practice the language or even learn it particularly. So I think they live a very excluded life from the country and the fantastic things about the country. As I mentioned before, the first year that I was here, I lived with Italians who couldn't speak English. So for me, I had to learn how to communicate in Italian because there was no other way of communicating. And so I would say that if your objective is to live here and to be part of the community, to have Italian friends and an Italian support network, it's very necessary to speak the language, and the easiest way to do that is to live with Italians, because if you're working in a different language, if your partner speaks the same language as you, then you don't necessarily have that opportunity to learn in the same way. And secondly, I'd say also that what I've learned from living here is that you also have to accept a different culture and that Rome is a very, very beautiful city. It has thousands of tourists, but because of it being a beautiful city and because it having so much architecture and amazing and beautiful things to see, it means that also there's a negative aspect to that history and that culture, which means that it's not a modern city. It's not a place where there's thousands and thousands of career opportunities every day or thousands and thousands of jobs. And I think you have to go through a process of accepting the city for what it is and for the benefits that it offers in terms of standard of life, rather than necessarily it being a city which offers numerous career opportunities, like, for example, New York or perhaps London or maybe even Milan.
Yeah, that's very, very interesting. Yeah, so Rome is, when you are thinking like about, I don't know, developing a career or having like a high-paying career, maybe Rome is not a city to move in. You are moving to Rome because you love it. I think.
Yeah, I would say it's for a standard of life that I mean, in terms of the temperature, in terms of the proximity to the beach, to Tuscany, to international airport where you can travel very easily. It being 30 degrees in May, I mean, I can only compare it to lifestyles that I've lived in the UK or in London or even in Australia. But from experience of being here for 10 years, I would say it's a lifestyle decision as opposed to necessarily a career decision. Okay. At least from the sector that I work in, it could be different in different sectors.
Yeah, so you cover multiple job positions. So how do you organize your time? How do you manage your time?
I live with Google Calendar. I think without Google Calendar, I would not be able to manage my day. I have to be very careful with the hours of my day in terms of which client they're given to. And so I do use Google Calendar attached to Google Mail. I also use it to send invites, to cancel, to change times, and I find that helps me manage my day and manage my week, but also month to month, blocking periods of the calendar out. Or I think without that, I mean, I remember 10 years ago where I carried around a big diary with pen and paper. But it now is all digitalized, which makes things a lot easier. Also, because of the invite feature, you're able to appear on the calendars also of your clients, which is a reminder to them as well as it is to you.
So Google Calendar is your secret.
It's my secret indeed. Yes.
Yeah. So let's speak a little bit more now about public speaking. You are a vice president of Toastmaster International here in Rome, and you also organize meetups. So what are the secrets of a successful public speaker?
The secrets of a successful public speaker, I would say in one word, are preparation. The club Toastmasters is for people who are petrified of public speaking. It's also for people who love public speaking, and it offers an event, a platform whereby people can improve. And part of improving is being aware of what you're doing with your voice, what you're doing with your hands, the rest of your body. If you're doing strange things with your face that you don't even know that you're doing, which may then be made aware to you through the feedback that you're given by the audience. And it's that feedback and that practice which helps you improve, because each time you get better, you concentrate on a particular aspect. So in the beginning it might be controlling your fear and not demonstrating it in the tone of your voice. The second time it might be that you concentrate on not pacing up and down or moving your body excessively. The third time you might be concentrating on your visual aids and how to best use those. So the program goes through a course, if you like, or a manual whereby each time you're concentrating on a different aspect of public speaking, which is, if you like a training course in the gym, where each time you're focusing on a different aspect of the event of public speaking. But it's very clear when somebody has practiced, because their overall aspect is more confident, because they've done it before. They remember the words, or they're no longer so nervous because they've had feedback already, whether that be from the mirror or whether that be from their partner or a friend who's watched them. But it's not the absolute first time that they're speaking, and it's obvious.
So what else can we? So practice, exercising, and also attending, having feedback from others, and also attending those kinds of meetups can help us to
if
prepare.
Possible. Yes, absolutely. But I would say if you can't attend a meeting, if you're able to get some form of feedback, whether that be videoing yourself, whether that be recording yourself, just with the vocal feature that I think most people have on smartphones now, whereby you can record your voice, you're then able to hear yourself, or in a video, you're able to see yourself, see what you're doing, or ask someone else to record you, or even better, ask somebody to be your guinea pig and watch you and give you constructive feedback.
So what else can we do, like, to prepare for a public speaking engagement?
Other than preparing and getting feedback, there's I mean, obviously it depends on the content of the presentation, how well that's structured, whether it's clear, whether it's linear, whether the supporting images are fantastic and don't distract at all from the message. But I would say that the most important thing of all is that practice and obtaining feedback, because until you've got someone else's opinion or some reaction from an audience, you don't know what the reaction could or could not be. You don't know what your strengths are. You don't know what your weaknesses are until you've tested it, if you like.
Yeah. And then on another hand, how can we overcome public speaking fear? Because there are many people who are scared of speaking in the public, being on the stage, or even doing like a small presentation, 5 minutes presentation. So how to overcome
how to get over that?
Yeah.
I mean, from experience of being part of Toastmasters, I've seen people who are petrified, or who at least say they're petrified, then speak and realize that actually the fear is much more than the reality. And so through pushing themselves past and breaking through that wall of fear and seeing the results afterwards, they then start to slowly gain confidence, and the fear starts to diminish. Obviously it's a process. I think anything that anybody can be scared of the first time is petrifying, but the more you push yourself to do whatever it is that scares you, it becomes less scary. The first time that you give the Toastmaster meeting, there's also improvised speeches of 1 minute, and regularly what happens is we ask people who maybe haven't given a full presentation to give a 1 minute improvisation, which the first time petrifies them, but then they've done it once, and so then they think, okay, well, that wasn't so bad, I'll go on and try the next one. And you see people over a course of a couple of years changing from people who go from being petrified to being public speakers, to being able to conduct meetings or to give a presentation even in another language. So the change is absolutely possible. But I would say, like in the other points, the most important thing is practicing. And in the same way as someone goes to the gym in the beginning, maybe says, okay, I can't run. Or, after they go through a series of training and they start maybe running 2 minutes, and then they start running 3 or 4 or 5, and after a while they're running. I think for me that it's a similar concept. The more you do something, the less it becomes difficult, and less you become scared of it.
Yeah, I agree with that. Yes, taking like small steps and then practice and practice with everything. Yeah, with fear of public speaking, and also you can be scared also to do a presentation in a different language, for example in Italian, or or even in English for people who do not speak English, or I don't know, in Spanish, in any other language. So practice and taking small steps. So how, because public speaking can be also a career, I think, because you can travel around the world, you can visit different cities and do presentations or speak on different subjects. So how to start this kind of career? What would be the first steps?
The first step, I would say, in my experience, how to sort of move into any possible career that you might be interested in is to find people who are doing it already and ask them for their advice. I mean, as I mentioned in the beginning, when I wanted to become a marketing manager, I went to a group of marketing managers and asked them for their advice. How do I get into a position? How do I get into your position? What would you recommend me to do? So I would say the same principle for any particular job. Try to put yourself in a environment where there are other people who are public speakers for work, and ask them, okay, how do I do what you're doing? What steps did you take? Another simple thing can be also contacting people through LinkedIn, asking them, okay, complimenting on them on their achievements, and then saying, okay, I'm really interested in doing what you do. Can you give me an advice? Is there any book I should read? Is there any video I should watch? And see what response you're given. Personally, having been part of a public speaking club, I met other people who work as trainers or work as coaches who are working in a similar environment, and was then asked to offer training as part of the club, which obviously then gives you exposure to other trainers who are working in the sector. So it doesn't necessarily, it can be an organic process whereby you choose to put yourself in an environment where there are other people in the position that you want to be in.
Okay, yeah. So asking questions once again, asking questions.
Yes.
Yeah, which is a very important step, I think, about starting every career, like finding a mentor, or following other people who are successful in this in the career that you would like to have. So what can you advise? So we speak a little bit about how to overcome fear of public speaking. But what can you advise, for example, to an introvert person who wants to become a public speaker?
I would say the same as a person who's scared of public speaking. Generally, it's possibly precisely because they're an introvert, or they're less comfortable on stage, or in being the protagonist, if you like. Possibly one step they could go through is to consider acting or improvisation workshops, whereby they're, rather than being themselves, they're taking on a role, or they're acting somebody else, which maybe will give them more of an extension of acting an extrovert, if that's not who they necessarily feel. But then other than that, again, it would be practice. If they want to become a public speaker, then I think that they would need to accept that it's a process whereby you go through, you start practicing, and you put yourself in an environment where you're in a group of people where the objective of all the people there is to improve each other in the skill of public speaking. So, I mean, I've seen people who would classify themselves as introverted perform, speak in public, and give fantastic presentations.
Okay, yeah. So there is a possibility for everyone, to master the skill of public speaking, which I think it's very important skill. If you are working, not even in the training industry, but in every industry,
sure.
where you are giving presentations, or you want to share your message with other people. So what are your plans for the future, Kate? What are you doing? Are you staying here in Rome, or what are your plans? Tell us more.
Very good question. My immediate plans are the end of June. I'm going to be in China for the first time, in Hong Kong, and then Singapore, doing some presentation skills training courses. And after that, I think probably I'm going to start working more internationally in the training sector. Where that will take me, I don't know at this precise moment of time. I'm hoping to work more in training of both public speaking, presentation skills, but also I hope getting to work more fully with body language training, which is one of my biggest passions.
Yeah. Body language. Yeah, this is a very interesting subject. So next time I will invite you for the interview about body language.
About body language. Okay.
Yeah.
I'll be delighted.
Yeah. So thank you very much for sharing all your experience with us, all the tips and information about how to start a career as a public speaker. So where can we find more information about you? And I also know that you have a free gift for our listeners today.
Sure. In terms of finding more information about me, I would say the best place is my LinkedIn profile, as it has all my career details and also references that different clients have left. I think you mentioned at the beginning my full name, which is Kate Florence Wright, which you will find obviously based in Rome on LinkedIn. And in terms of the free gift, what I'm offering is 360 degrees language, or particularly business English language assessment, which looks at both the grammatical side, so if you like the passive side of a person's language capacity, but then would also involve a brief phone call to assess the fluency and the active verbal capacity of the person.
Great. Thank you for sharing that. So I will put all the link to your LinkedIn profile and information about the free gift with the description of the podcast, so people can contact you and book a session. So thank you very much again. I wish you all the best for your future, and I hope to speak with you soon and do another interview about body language.
Okay. Thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you. Welcome. Thank you for listening. And if you like this podcast, please leave us a comment and share it with your friends. And I will speak with you soon with another fantastic guest. Thank you very much and goodbye.